well, we found this exhibition so sort of intriguing, haven't we, that we thought we'd come back and have another look at it. There's so much really to take in. So let's see, what else have we missed, Hans?
Well, I recognise this piece down here, Jeremy. It's like a bit of your work.
No, this is a surprise to see a piece of my own work here. Mind you, it's not exactly as I made it.
How do you feel about it then?
Well, of course, it being a scale model and lacking some of the detail and the exact proportion, it is different, but the concept of the piece is there. I mean, the actual, I presume it's been made from a photograph.
Yes.
But what do you think? I mean, it's obviously very close to my heart.
Well, I find it an intriguing piece. I mean, the honesty of the construction is something that immediately appeals to me, the finger joints that relate to the strip construction. And then, there's more of an intriguing kind of value in the way these three elements come together. It's a very nice piece. Is it about half scale, this model?
I've no idea. Do you know, I don't think I've ever made a scale model in my life. And in fact, I have to say that really the piece evolved, and that the joint, probably the original part of this design, the centre joint, because obviously this is a conventional finger joint, the centre joint evolved. And how it evolved was, let's start with three-legged design, and I sketched this out, and then I thought, well, I've got an awful big mass of wood here, it's going to warp and all the rest of it, so let's laminate it. And in sketching it on literally the back of an envelope, which tends to be my way of designing, I drew lines, and as they came into the middle, the joint evolved. It was a result of these three.
I think that's one aspect I particularly like. There is that honesty there. I mean, looking at the centrepiece here, actually, it's got a three-dimensional feeling. You're playing with perspective, in fact, with these three elements coming in, really, which is quite interesting.
The reflection of light comes with the grain coming in. But there's one little detail I'd just like to mention that evolved, if you like, when the piece was made, and that is that when the whole thing was jointed up, and bear in mind that the first piece was 5-foot span, quite a big table, it looked like carton flooring. It actually looked pretty boring. So I then introduced a very fine groove with the router, which took almost as long as the joint itself, because it had to be jigged up against a batten. I think as designers, what you and I, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd imagine we share is that we both feel that the eye needs to be pleased, that the visual importance. I mean, the technical thing, once we've got those skills under our belt, are relatively straightforward, aren't they?
Well, I think skills you can acquire with time. There's no big deal, really. I suppose. So it's really a question of actually what are you going to do with those skills? How they're going to be used productively.
Yes. And of course, furniture is a wonderful sort of barometer or expression of cultural attitudes and values and economic